Hey everybody, so last week, if you remember, we finished up this Winnebago View. We put this nice little big beard Victron system in there. And we were wrapping up our time in Florida at our favorite beach, Casperson, where you can find lots of shark's teeth and stuff. But this last time we were there, there was this guy that had, I don't know, they call it an ultralight, I think. My dad's always called it a flying lawn chair, but he was nuts with this thing. He would flip it all over the place and he would pull some serious G's, is how he said it. But so it was cool to see that. So, anyways, we left Florida and started making our way north to get out of this heat, all the way to north of Atlanta, Georgia, to our next little job, which was at Camp Margaritaville at Lake Lanier. This is certainly a nice place. I mean, this is kind of a cool area with the lakes and all the little fingers and islands and stuff that are here. There's lots of little private beaches you can find. So it's a cool place. It's expensive though, obviously. So this is a system I initially did a couple of years ago, and then we met up and did an Autoformer later on. But he's got 1,000 amp hours of battle-borne batteries here. He's got a nice system, definitely, with dual 3000 VA inverters. But it was when I put in the Autoformer that I realized the Watchdog is a pain in the butt. That's what the two lights you can see back in there are, is the Victron Autoformer for load balancing the inverters. So the Watchdog does not play well with that. The pressure of Dynamix is much better, and that's what I try to get people to get, honestly. Because I can't get Watchdog to call me back and talk to me about it. But the problem with the Watchdog is it has an EA error for missing neutral. And it says in the book that if you think this is an error, to turn something on because it's kicking it out because of a perfectly balanced load and just make the load imbalanced. You can't make an imbalanced load if you have an Autoformer for creating a perfectly balanced load. So it's an error on Watchdog's part, but I can't get them to even talk to me about it. So we're changing it out for a progressive Dynamix. So the other thing that we are going to tackle while we're together here is I'm going to put in a second Victron Autoformer for creating split phase from his single phase generator. So this can kind of get deep into the weeds about talking about electricity, but most of my Victron systems, I just combine the legs from the generator so you're able to get the full amperage output from the generator. The negative is in a dual inverter setup in split phase is only one of the chargers will run. So with this second Autoformer, it'll create split phase from the single phase generator, and then that will allow both chargers to run on the inverters, charging the batteries faster, which in my systems, when you put a bigger system in like this, that's the only reason you would run the generator, really, is to charge batteries. So I'm getting ready to put one of these in my own RV so I can test it fully. So there we got the progressive Dynamix in. Yeah, it's not as fancy as the Watchdog, and it doesn't have the Bluetooth, but it won't kick out for an E8. And then the generator's running, and as you can see, both inverters are connected to the generator and both chargers, even though they're in float because the batteries are full, but they both have connected, which is exactly what you want to see. That means the generator is outputting split phase because of the Autoformer that is installed here now. So whatever, I'm going to see how it goes. I've heard stories that they do get hot and shut down. That's why I want to put one in my own RV and test it, but he was cool with it. Even if you only got a couple hours, there's still both chargers for a couple hours. So we wrapped up that one-day job and headed to another one-day job 6 hours away or so here in Lexington, Tennessee, not Kentucky. I always want to say Kentucky. We stayed at another campground because, again, we're just trying to knock these out and get back to Michigan. But this place was nice. It was just a little state park. It was cheap, like $35 a night or something on a lake. This was, again, a small job. It was Super C. I didn't get much video of this. All we did was put two 300 amp hour 12 volt big beard batteries in it, and then a shunt. We put a Victron shunt. That's what the blue blinking light is that you could see down in there. And then being a motorhome, we had to do something where the systems combine, and in this case, since it was just two batteries, I did decide to just switch the BIM out for a lithium compatible BIM. Those of you who've gotten installs done for me from motorhome, you know we handle this differently depending on the battery bank and stuff. So the factory BIM was actually those two devices there. So I was taking those two out and then put this one that Precision Circuits makes, which I like. It's either that or I use Victron's version. They make the Cyrex, which is also good. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna jump in here real quick at the end. I'm sitting in my office, which, if you can't tell, is a truck. That's where all my paperwork in the morning gets done. At night, I typically fall asleep standing at the bed doing paperwork in the garage space, which is mine, Lacey's bedroom and stuff. But I'm trying to get through all the emails. I mean, that Hanks video was insane. Part of the problem was it wasn't pricing on my website. So I got a ton of emails. So I know there's a bunch of you out there that I haven't gotten back with yet. And there's probably going to be some of you that are going to slip through the cracks that I may not get back with. But if you're serious about wanting me to do solar for you, either just pick up the phone and call me, 989-464-3314. I mean, most of the installs that I've booked has been people that have picked up the phone and called me because it's just so hard to get through all the emails. Typically, my website's perfect for filling out the contact form, and I still want everybody to do that because even if you call me, I can pull up your contact form and look at your info, and it kind of helps with answering some of the questions and stuff. So anyways, I would love to do solar for all you guys. I certainly am not booked up by any means. I am pretty full until like mid-July, but August still has some openings, September, October, November, and then certainly I have an install booked in Florida the middle of January, so like all of December, half of November, and then until mid-January we will be in Florida, and then from there we'll probably go out west and try to catch the RV show at Quartzsite like we typically do, and then we'll bounce around out west and stuff. So we'll circle the country like always. So I don't know, just reach out if you're interested. I apologize to anybody that I haven't gotten back with. It is not intentional. It's not like I'm just ignoring you. I mean, the emails keep me awake at night thinking about the ones I haven't gotten back with. So I don't take it lightly. I apologize. But if you are serious about wanting solar from me and you haven't figured something else out, reach out again. Like I said, just pick up the phone, call me, text me, or send another email. I will get to it eventually. I promise. So thanks, guys. We will catch you on the next video. Next week I'll have a full install. I know this video was not the greatest install. It was just a couple short, small little things stuffed together in one video, but I got a big system I'm doing next week, and then I got some fun stuff coming with ESS and sending power back into the grid coming up here. So, hey, thanks everybody. Please like and subscribe.